to call this meeting of the Southern Berkshire Regional School District School Committee number 1705 to order, and it is at 6:01.
Oh.
All right.
I like that.
It feels like a long time since we've had an agenda that looks normal. I have to say, I'm pleased about that. I hope we can stay focused and maybe we can be efficient and have a 90-minute meeting, like is my ultimate goal, and we'll see where that goes. But
Julie, with this weather, I'm sure you will.
well, we're going to try. We're going to try. Anyway, thank you. All right, so standing reports. We do have a couple of sets of minutes from a while ago. Let me see. So there are minutes of January 15th. Let's do them separately. So we'll take the minutes of January 15th.
Oh, Nancy has a hand up.
Nancy has her head. I can't hear you, Nancy.
I just need a minute to grab everything.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes
Bonnie, there's a
of
second.
January, whatever. that
15th.
was, 15.
Okay, so Bonnie made a motion to
2026.
approve and Amy seconded the minutes for January 15th. So is there any discussion, corrections? Yes, Carl?
Yeah, well, point of order, that is, these are draft minutes, so if we approve them, it has to be clear that we're approving draft minutes, and we will subsequently have to approve the final version.
Are they draft because we have, yeah, Michelle, clarify?
Draft because they haven't been approved. Once they're approved tonight.
Then the draft watermark will be
They're
removed?
always draft minutes.
Right.
But it is, minutes are never approved until they're presented to us at a meeting.
Which they are tonight.
Yeah, but hold on, this is the first time since I've been a member that I have seen minutes marked draft. Minutes presented to us in prior meetings. The minutes are the minutes. Approving them is approving them. Those are two different things. If all that's required, this is a draft not to be replaced by a final, that should be made clear because
okay.
we've never before been told that they're draft until they're approved. They're not draft until they're approved. They're minutes until they're approved minutes. Now they are draft minutes and we are approving a draft. So either it should be made clear on the record that these are minutes, they will not be, except as amended, edited by the school committee tonight, they will not be represented as minutes somewhere down the road. This is the first time I've seen it. I could ask if any members of the school committee have seen minutes marked as draft in the past. I haven't.
I'm not sure. Most of the time they don't have a watermark, but I'm not sure if the top of it might say draft. I know when I have done minutes, I'll write draft, and then when they're approved, I take the draft off. So, I mean, we can clarify.
That's all that has to be done. But then in the future, this notation should appear. There should be consistency, is what I'm saying.
So the reason why they're marked draft is because I've had numerous people ask me for draft minutes, and I cannot provide minutes without them being watermarked as draft. The reason why they're attached to this packet as a draft is because I didn't remove the watermark. So when you're approving the minutes tonight, you're approving final minutes. These are draft minutes that were drafted, but they are not final until you have approved them this
I would have no problem with that if that had been past practice, which that's not good. That's all.
Okay, so for the record, we want to state then, Carl, that upon approval, the draft watermark would be removed and these would be considered final minutes.
That's fine. That's correct.
Okay.
Bonnie
That is
said
a
that is a friendly amendment.
Yeah, Bonnie, is that a friendly amendment? Amy, friendly amendment? Okay. Final with draft mark removed. Okay. Any other discussion about the January 15th minutes?
I have a question here. If you go to 12C, Sandy's resignation, Sandy Hubbard, page 3.
Page 3, Sandy, down here, yes.
At that point, we were accepting her resignation for a date in the future.
We were, yes, for
So-
August, I think.
It is
I don't know.
August
So it
8th,
should, oh, right.
Michelle? Is it August 8th for Ms. Hubbard's?
It's either the 7th or the 8th.
So I think it should be noted that way.
Okay.
Because otherwise the official minutes would say that she resigned months earlier.
Okay, so maybe then after Director was voted to accept resignation, do you want to say resignation effective August 7th?
Right.
Okay, effective,
No, that was
okay,
Sandy Hubbard.
yeah. Okay, so that would be a correction. Anything else? Okay, hearing no other corrections, then we have a motion made by Bonnie, seconded by Amy. The final draft will be voted upon and the draft watermark will be removed. And we had the correction for Sandy Hubbard's effective date of August 7th for her retirement. All in favor? Jim? Carl? Yes. Amy?
Yes.
Yes.
Miguel? I'll catch Kim on the way back. Bonnie?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
No, I guess I won't catch Kim on the way back. Okay, well, we are, Julie, yes. So it is approved. And now we have minutes for March, what did we
23rd.
see, 23rd.
I move to accept the minutes of the special school meeting on March 23rd, 2026.
With the
and
draft watermark.
With the draft watermark.
I second that motion.
Okay, Amy and Miguel. Okay, any discussion on the minutes? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Jim?
Yes.
Carl? Amy?
Yes.
Miguel? Bonnie?
I was not there. so
You,
I
okay,
abstained.
Bonnie abstain. Nancy? And Julie, yes. So those minutes are approved as well. Okay. Receipt of correspondence.
None.
Okay, none. On to enrollment report.
So, per the school committee's last conversation, I checked in with Ms. Retzel about the additional student in second grade. It wasn't a reduction, it was an increase. The family wanted to start this kiddo sooner. She is going to be moving to third grade next year. That's why we have an additional student on our enrollment report.
Oh, I'm looking at the other one. Wait a minute. I was looking
One
at
page
prior
before.
years, yes.
Right
Oh,
there.
okay.
So the second grade one.
Yeah, I was wondering about that coming
Yep.
in so late in the year.
Just to get acclimated in advance of third grade.
Okay. Okay, any other questions about the 25-26 enrollment report? Okay, any comments or questions, I guess related to that is the prior year's enrollment chart shows the trend from 2015 through June of 2026. So, we can see that, 11 years ago, we were at 764, we are now at 590. And that's a trend, I think, that's being experienced
Across the U.S.
across the Berkshires, for sure. I don't know if anybody has any questions about that. No? Okay, hearing none, we will continue on. Let's see, student rep report. Oh, Bonnie, sorry.
I had mentioned earlier that I would like this to be a focus of any summer retreat that we do. Looking at enrollment trends, to what extent our trend is in any way different from the general Berkshire trend, and what we're doing to address
Okay.
this issue.
Seems apropos.
I think so.
Yes, to include enrollment trends. Thank you, Bonnie. Any other comments about the enrollment? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I've had a lot of questions too, and maybe when we discuss it, I guess this goes without saying, but we would be able to, some of the things we won't ever know, right? Some details we won't know. Others we can know. And then we would probably also want to consider population of the 5 towns. And how that correlates to this too. But those are details we can, when we
Okay.
address it.
And 5-town population. Okay, we'll add that to that. Okay, anything else on enrollment? No? Okay. Student rep report, Ben Bella has
Not tonight,
graduated,
right?
so we have no report tonight, and I believe we do not have a
No student
spotlight.
spotlight, no.
Okay, no spotlight tonight. Public comment. So, a couple of things about public comment of late. Certainly, it's been heated, it's been emotional, it's been tense. It has kind of got off the radar with personal attacks. I want to say at our last meeting, the students really set the bar high with calm, articulate, values-driven remarks. And after a few conversations that I had with folks, I chose to seek some advice from counsel. I was able to talk with Peter Sumners because our regular counsel, Joss Coleman, had time constraints. Because I wanted to discuss with him the line between First Amendment, freedom of expression, and maintaining respectful, civil, and a kind atmosphere that we really strive for but have deviated so far away from in the last several months. So one thing he reminded me is that public comment is not offered at all school committees. There are school committees that do not hold it at all. It's not allowed. But our school committee values and really encourages community engagement. And to that end, we actually added a second public comment a couple of months ago, and we do that. Yes, our policy says we limit it to 15 minutes, but that can be extended. But most importantly, the role of the chair is to keep the public comment focused on issues within the purview of our business and avoid and maintain civility, avoid personal attacks. I have been lax. We will not be able to allow that. We can't. I apologize to colleagues who have felt that in the past. But it was good for me to have that conversation with council about that. So we're going to really keep our public comment focused on issues. The council asked me if I had a gavel, and I said, yeah, it's kind of gigantic, actually. I said, I don't think I've ever seen it used at a school committee meeting. I can't recall
it has
that.
been.
What's that?
It has been.
It has been, okay. Maybe not in my presence. I have not. But anyway, and in particular, last week, I was pretty shell-shocked by some of the comments that were made and that were really pretty distasteful. And I have no excuse except being shell-shocked that I simply couldn't even think about picking up a gavel. But I know better, and council really kind of set me on a good track with that, and I appreciate it. So we're going to stay focused. We're going to follow the bar of our students with their kind and good remarks, and we can all do better. Hopefully I don't need to use a gavel, but I've been encouraged to do that. And so I just wanted to say that about public comment in general. Carl?
I don't want to interrupt you. You finish.
I am finished, yes.
I think it's important to know that there is a common misconception of what the First Amendment provides. It does not provide freedom of speech. What it does is prohibits restriction of speech. There's a big difference between those two things. That is, the government, whether the federal government or the state government, the federal on the Fifth Amendment, the states on the 14th, cannot limit speech. There are certain limitations. For example, the famous Oliver Wendell Holmes comment that you can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater. But other than that, one does not have the right to speak. For example, and speech includes a display. For example, a restaurant can refuse to seat person who wants to eat there if the person is, say, wearing a T-shirt that says Communist Party USA. Likewise, if a person is wearing a MAGA hat, the restaurant can refuse to do that. That is not free speech. You can say whatever you want as long as it doesn't harm people, but the private sector has the right to say you can't do it here. So we could, and as you say, there are quite a few school districts and quite a few other public bodies in Massachusetts that simply don't have public comment.
Right.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl. Anyway, do we have public comment? Because now we're ready for public comment.
Thank you, Chair. And members of the committee, I trust that you are being civil and in line with the expectations
you.
of this evening. My name is Kristen Mallory. I live in New Marlboro. I'm a parent of a child at New Marlboro Central School. In the interest of brevity, I will forego comments around how exceptional the school is and all the sentiments that I hold dearly about the school, but please don't mistake that for a lack of sentiment. It's a very important part of our school district, and I'm joined by other parents of children at New Marlboro School who feel the same way. There are others who can't be here in person, who are on Zoom, who are not able to comment, and so I am hopefully sharing some of their thoughts as well. And it is in that context that I'm here to share that I'm deeply concerned about the future of New Marlboro School in light of the decisions that have been made with respect to staffing and budget cuts. This has been shared with Dr. Ricca and Principal Retzel by several families recently, and we have received communication and assurance that we will have clarity as things are known to us. Unfortunately, there's quite a bit of speculation and rumor in the school community regarding what's going to be happening to New Marlboro Central School next year, and it is really because of that that I feel compelled to ask for more clarity. In particular, we have noticed in the packet for this evening's school committee meeting, there is a chart which outlines projected enrollment numbers for students as it relates to school choice. And we can't help but notice that the line item for the third grade class at New Marlboro Central School is 0. Given that there are currently students enrolled in second grade expecting to matriculate to third grade, we don't understand why this is here. I have gotten some feedback that this may not be a definitive answer as far as what's going on with New Marlboro, so I would ask, why is it included in the packet? When you get to the portion of the meeting where you discuss this, I would like some clarity around its inclusion here. What is the intention of that number? So that I can have a better understanding, because we are left to infer what this means because there's a lack of communication directly with families. If there is a decision that has been made to cut the third grade class from New Marlboro Central School, I would like to know if that is in fact true, and I would like to know the reasons why that decision has been made. There are solutions that we would like to offer, and we would like to be part of a conversation, and I don't feel like that door has been open for us. We have a teacher who currently teaches a second and third combined class who is willing to do so again. So I don't understand why that could not be a solution here. And a way to keep children in the school who are expecting to return to the school. There are 7 school days left this year, and there are children who are at risk of being removed from their school with no knowledge that that is going to happen, with no knowledge that it may be the last time that they walk through the doors of that school. I know that this administration touts the importance of transparency, the importance of communication. I feel like this is a huge fail. I do not feel like this is transparent or well communicated, if this is true, and I'd really like some clarity around that. I'd like to also offer that as a part of the PTA, we have funds that we feel confident could cover the cost of the salary of another paraprofessional. We recognize 2 paraprofessionals are retiring this year. We are confident that we can offer a salary for someone to come into the school to take over those roles if that will help retain the students that are currently at the school. And I just ask that you just be honest with us if you're planning to remove third grade at New Marlboro Central. What a message this would send to our second grade students, my daughter included, who have seen their third grade peers prepare to move all year long. Not just with the visit to Undermountain in the last week, but all year long through subtle communications and support from their teachers. We don't have that opportunity. We don't have a planned recognition night if this happens in a really abrupt way. And I think that we need to recognize that robs our kids of a huge opportunity at a very important milestone. If you're concerned about enrollment numbers, I would posit that showing families that you value them, that you value their input and their inclusion in the conversation could possibly be a really helpful strategy to retain families in the future. And as a concerned parent, I am deeply saddened that I had to learn this through a packet that is buried in an attachment at a school committee meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there other public comment tonight?
Hi, Kevin Fish. Let me just start by saying we love this district. We love the schools, the teachers and staff who have cared for our children, challenged them, encouraged them, and helped them to grow. We love the families. We love the school community. But as parents, we need to ask ourselves one simple question. What is in the best interest of our kids' education? Over the past 6 months, and especially over the last 4 weeks, I've lost a great deal of confidence in the leadership sitting at this table. What is driving us to consider this is not the budget alone. It's the chaos, the divisiveness, the personal conflicts, and most importantly, the immediate move to cut teachers and staff while prioritizing administrative positions and raises over the people who work most directly with students, along with the uncertainty about what comes next year and the year after that. Because the real loss here is not only about positions on a spreadsheet, it's about not seeing the school for what it really is. It is the artwork that lines our halls. It's the music. It's the performances. It's the culture, creativity, confidence, and joy that teachers and staff bring every single day. It is the child who discovers they are brave enough to stand on a stage. It's the child who sees the painting showcased and feels proud. It's the child who finds safety in a familiar adult or confidence in a teacher who believes in them before they believe in themselves. That is what school is. And that is what this district has been to my children. And watching that foundation crumbling has been devastating. I know these are difficult times, and I know people are working hard, but as a parent, I cannot ignore what I've seen and felt. We could hope things get better, but I've never believed that hope is a good or effective strategy. I'm here again tonight because what happens next matters deeply to many of us. If we saw you set your differences aside, confront the district's financial challenges honestly and thoughtfully, and begin working together on real solutions to turn this crisis around, that would be incredibly impactful. And just in line with what Kristen just said, and if the rules allow, I would welcome the chance for a direct conversation. Personally, it feels like the people with the most at stake, that's our kids and the families making decisions about their future, have not been meaningfully engaged or included in this process. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there other public comment at this time? Okay, thank you to those who spoke. Business managers report. There's no warrant this evening. We have no grants and gifts this evening, no transfers.
Correct.
Yeah, Tim?
Just two questions. One, we have had no budget line transfers, no grant drawdowns, nothing all year long. That is not common practice for a school committee. At this point, it's been almost a year. That is out of control. The other thing is I requested information on a roll forward, which was a little to be desired. But from what I was able to pick apart, it looks like we're going to end the school year with a $2 million surplus. How is that possible? And the numbers are right here. After we've been told, because we started with the 4.6, it looks like there's encumbrance. and there's 2.5 left. Most of the school spending is done prior to April 30th. And from what I see, on what I was given, it says 2.5. And we only have, 3 weeks and some summer help. So I want to know if that is really what is left. Why the heck did we rip people?
I don't have an answer to that, and unfortunately, TJ from Open Architects
Well,
is
I
not
want
here
an
tonight.
answer.
But we do, obviously, I mean, that's a concern. I have not seen numbers like that.
I can show you.
But that
I'll
doesn't,
forward it. You have seen it because the report was forwarded to you.
okay. I can't say that, I don't remember which report or what, there's been so
The one for
much.
the public meeting requests. The other thing is our year-to-dates. They fluctuate all over the place. But it's not fluctuate like we spend more. We started at 16-something on April 13th year-to-date, and then all of a sudden we're at 15.9. Sorry.
The only thing I can say, Kim, is that we don't have our business manager here tonight. We need to address that. If there,
We need to address a lot.
So, I know that there were going to be, that they were trying to work on closing out and that there would be transfers before the end of the year. We do have another meeting. Perhaps we're going to be expecting a lot of transfers at that time.
I don't think we're expecting $2.5 million worth of transfers.
No, you're probably right about that part.
So
We're gonna have to find out.
Really upset that this information was here May 15th, because despite everything that they tried to cover when they sent it to me, if you zoom in close, the day May 15th is on there. So,
Well, I can't say I know exactly which
Sorry.
email you're talking about, but I don't delete them, so they're there. I can try to go back and find what you're referring to. Bonnie?
I am a little nonplussed by this, but when Kim says this, was this request as a result of any of the towns needing information for special
No.
meetings?
no, this was me requesting from April for the budget actual, the roll forwards, where the revenues were, all the way through this whole year. And finally, I got it a few days ago.
So Julie, then I would be concerned because of the special, do we know the dates of the special town meetings?
Yes, we have them,
Yeah.
and so we'll be, we
So
have,
Brian, when do they start?
we were gonna announce them later in the agenda, but we have them. I mean, Alfred's the 23rd, Monterey's the 25th, Egremont, New Marlboro, Sheffield are all on the 29th.
So we have all of them coming like in 1 week.
Yes,
I have a feeling, one, they may want somebody at these meetings to be able to answer questions. And aside from the ones who are attending as attendees to vote, I hope we're gonna take what Kim just stated. I mean, now it means any town that's going to ask for information is going to receive this. I hate to say we wouldn't look too good. Do you know what that, did you see, Brian, but it went to you?
I was copied on it, but I would have to ask TJ.
yeah, we're just gonna have, I
Well,
mean, I
that's
can't answer. I can't give you an answer tonight. That's all I can
Okay,
tell you.
I think we should then prepare, if we have to have a special meeting prior, as much as I hate it, because we've had so many, but if we have towns that were really good to us by setting up the special town meetings, paying for them, et cetera, in order to go over the budget, if there is a discrepancy, so if you look at this tomorrow, Friday, I think we might need to meet, and I don't think any of us want to go into our town meetings. If there's any chance this is true,
Well, the one thing I can say, because
And I doubt that what
Because the
Kim-
Monterey meeting is the 25th, which is the night we had scheduled, we're gonna talk about moving that.
Correct.
And right now, Michelle has told me with the responses we have, that we may move that to the 22nd, which is before those meetings.
Right.
Not specifically very far in advance. If we need to change that, I don't know if we can change it slightly earlier than that or not. We can talk about that when we get to that item. Let's,
I don't want to
if you
put
don't
you
mind.
out of this, but be aware that this really, if this information could really impact town meetings. And once again, we, apropos of what was said by some in the audience, we would not look particularly great.
No, you're right. Okay. Good.
How come you were
All right.
copied? Had you requested it?
It was an open meeting law thing. I requested it.
Okay. All right. Anything else on business manager report? Obviously, we have items to address.
Sure.
Okay. Chair's report. I just wanted to say briefly, some of the year-end events have been absolutely spectacular. Graduation at Tanglewood was lovely. Congratulations to all of our graduates. I know baseball was going on all at the same time. Life has been good. The other item that I want to bring forward as a chair item is that Michelle has brought to my attention, we've got our first call for registrations for the MASC, MASS conference in November, which is now in Danvers. And with the cut to school committee travel, we probably can send 3 or maybe 4 people this year. So if people are interested, we might consider that. We can also consider not going the night before or not staying Friday night if we wanted to come back. There are ways to kind of trim a little bit and get the real meat of that conference. But we'll try to stretch that line as far as we can. Bonnie?
I'd like to get starting with Carl. Not each, but a number of us as chair have spoken to Glenn Kuchar, who, because it's really hard to get people from Berkshire County and they recognize the distance, he has comped 1 or 2 in terms of registration. They can't do anything about the hotel, which could be addressed that way. But you might want to be proactive about contacting him and seeing if there's any possibility.
So in the past, they have done that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I heard my name. Oh, I'm sorry for butting in, but
I heard your name because you were the first one who got a couple of us to come.
Hold on one second, yeah. So, yeah, I wasn't aware that they had done that they had comped some registrations. We can check on that. I know we have Nancy's hand and we have Kim's hand.
Can I make a point?
Kim, yeah?
There's only going to be 3 members of the committee here. 4.
What do you mean?
Not going to be on it, not going to be on it, not going to be
Not
on
gonna
it.
be.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to be on it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's 1, 2, 3, and Art as of now,
As of 4, yeah.
And you won't have election results.
until after.
Right, yeah, no, but I'm just saying that, just be aware and, Michelle will probably be putting it out so people can talk about, if you want to go, how you want to do that, how we want to register, what piece of all of that, so, yeah. I just wanted to make the announcement that we've got the first call and that we'll be looking for that. We like to do the early bird registration.
Right.
That has to be, I don't know, Michelle, usually do it in July, right? You try to do it over the summer. So it'll be something we'll bring back up and we'll figure out who would like to attend and all of the above. And which days and that sort of thing. That's what I have for chair's report.
can I
Carl?
respond to Bonnie's comment? She may have let a cat out of a bag it shouldn't be allowed out of. In being comped, in other words, by going without having to pay a fee.
Or the full fee.
Well, it is true. And apparently, I have a lifetime, the life of a member of MASC, not the life of me, but of course it would be limited by the life of me as well. Invitation to attend without fee.
Okay.
Thank you for letting us know.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be on the first day of the conference this year. I'm not going to be a member of the committee.
Nor will I.
Yeah.
Kim just
Right,
pointed out.
right.
nor
There'll be
will
other
Kim,
people off.
or,
Right.
Who else? Oh, you.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see.
So-
Okay, very good. Well, just putting out first call.
And also, I think, you guys, I think that I'm also not so set to Kim's point, as I was going to say as well, and I think that opportunities for people who will be remaining on the committee, because I personally feel that the MASC conferences are critical to how the school committees run. And I think that, especially with all the funding things that are coming up, there's going to be quite a bit of discussion about, particularly for rural districts, how to advocate and all that. So I think that it's pretty incumbent upon those of us who are coming off the committee to not go until everybody who is on the committee. I'll miss it, I love going, but
Okay.
until everybody who is still going to be on the committee is able to go, it's incumbent upon us not to. I feel incumbent upon us not to step in.
Thank you, Nancy. Okay, that's the end of the chair report. Superintendent's report?
So I'm happy to report that today we took our freshmen, sophomores, and juniors to UMass with our new designation as an early college school. And to my knowledge, the only wall-to-wall one in the state of Massachusetts. We were on campus and quite impressed. As I shared with some members of this committee, it was the first time I was anywhere besides the athletic venues of UMass, and their dining options were everything that had been described to me. They were very upset that their actual dining hall was closed because undergrads are no longer there. But as I was sharing before the meeting started, there are plenty of options in their, I think it's called the Blue Wall, were tremendous. Also, we are working with Open Architects to follow through on the last motion for the adoption of the budget, which includes scouring benefits and confirming rural aid, extrapolating with the new, what we understand to be 20 million, what our share of that will be once we've committed the $75,000 to Transcend. And I will have, hopefully, TJ and Jen said they should be able to get me some information by the midpoint of next week, which I will share in a memo both to the school committee and our overall community in terms of next step with those numbers.
Okay, and that's it. Yeah, Bonnie?
Pain in the neck here. I think it might be nice if we got our art department involved in louder. I'm so loud. Well,
They can't hear you.
get the art department in designing something once we know what UMass Amherst is allowing us to use.
Sure.
I think we should have a banner.
Agreed?
It's great.
Agreed. Good suggestion. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Carl?
Yeah, for Dr. Ricker. Dr. Ricker, I'm reasonably sure that you are aware of an ugly confrontation, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, between a member of the committee, between the husband of a member of the committee, Kim Alcantara, and a member of staff of the school, which had the member of the faculty of the school using in front of their child, a student who is entering her senior year in September, in front of her, using a rude and sexist word. And I didn't witness the happening of that, but I witnessed the effect on that child. And outside, she was, to say hyperventilating, is putting it way too mildly. Her face was all blotchy, she was crying, she was inconsolable. And my question for you is, because I have conceded to the opinion of our council that in the first instance, the school committee has no jurisdiction in the first instance. And that jurisdiction rests with the superintendent and/or the principals of the school. I want to know if there is a current investigation, and if not, will there be?
There has not, to my knowledge, been any investigation into that circumstance. I did not witness it either. I've only heard about it third hand.
But you're not claiming, are you, that you have to witness it in order for it to be a matter for your concern?
I will reach out to council to see if it's appropriate for me to investigate that and report back to the committee.
Let me follow up on that question. Let's say that you heard but not witnessed that a teacher had sexually assaulted a student. Would you say that you had no jurisdiction unless you witnessed the sexual assault? I'm sure that's a rhetorical question. I'm sure the answer is no.
Of course.
Okay, that's all. Well, I hope you will report back at a subsequent meeting what's going on.
Sure.
The only thing I would add is that I am aware that an apology
That
was
wasn't an apology.
It was definitely not a strong apology.
It was everybody's fault but mine.
It was I am sorry.
No,
There
it
wasn't.
wasn't.
There were words that said I am sorry. That's all I'm going to say. We will leave this for a further conversation. Okay.
I think biasness is like full swing here, Carl.
Continuing on, report from our Director of Curriculum Instruction and Professional Development.
Yeah, so we found out earlier this week that we have preliminary approval for the Genocide Education Grant. And so that will allow our teachers from grade 5 through 12 to work on some curriculum mapping to align with that, as well as we're working with UMass and their Institute for Genocide Research and I can't remember the exact term of it off the top of my head, but we're going to work with them to develop some professional development for our educators as well. And also to hopefully take our students to see their museum exhibit that they have there. So that's number one. Number two, I am currently working on a response to the Berkshire Eagle on the Ignite tutoring that our students have been doing. Part of that Ignite tutoring is also, there's a study happening with Johns Hopkins on the high-dose tutoring. And so talking about that partnership and the progress that our students have made, as well as we will be applying to participate in that next year. The tutoring that we received from January until the end of this year costs about $35,000 if we were to pay for that as a district. And so next year we would have the opportunity for our students to participate throughout the entire school year in this. And Ignite tutoring is virtual. However, it's with a real person. Students have the same tutor every time they log in. It is 15 minutes every day, and it's part of their win block for them.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sarah.
A question about how is the genocide curriculum integrated into our curriculum?
So currently, the reason I said 5th grade through 12th is because currently the Massachusetts frameworks start with the Trail of Tears in 5th grade, and that is genocide education of Indigenous people all the way through 12th grade. And so the standards in both ELA and social studies target different genocide across different time periods. And so what we'll be doing is creating curriculum maps, potentially purchasing material to support that, as well as having PD developed by UMass for our teachers in these areas. Does that answer what you were looking
Yes.
for? Okay.
Great. Any
Yes.
other questions? Oh, Danny, yeah.
Do we have any feedback from teachers and or students on the tutoring, how it's been going, what they think, if they've seen improvements or the opposite?
So we've definitely seen growth. I don't have the exact numbers. We're waiting for that all to align. The way the tutoring works is that every 10 days, like every 2 weeks, the students get a quick assessment from the online tutor. And we're also doing dibbles. We're waiting, I think our dibbles should be finished tomorrow. So we're waiting for those results to check. The students have been making progress. I did talk to a few people. I talked to Kate as well. And the level of intervention that students can get is not something that a district could offer the students. And so that's one of the areas. I also had a great conversation with Tracy Weston, who's been organizing it at New Marlboro. And she gave really positive feedback. There was some growing pains initially with getting this, because they're logging in and getting all of that. But once the students kind of figured out how to get logged in and get settled in, most of them enjoyed doing it. And she was able to listen to the interactions, and for the most part, they were great. There were a few things where you could tell that maybe the tutor was a little new or struggled to kind of explain some of those things, but that's good feedback for us to give to Ignite. For example, she gave me, there was a blend, and they were looking at beginning blends, and the student, it's awesome, they identified a beginning and an end blend, and there was just, she kind of felt like the way the tutor explained it was a little kind of wonky, but other than that, it was really, from her perspective, a great experience for everybody.
And do the teachers identify where they want the tutor to focus?
No. So Ignite Tutoring has its own curriculum. It aligns with Dibble. It's all phonics based. So it's grade K through 3. Students, in order to participate, had to be below. Dibbles is, and Kate might be able to help me out, Dibbles is kind of complex. You have grade level, but you also have age level. And so students had to be below a certain level in order to participate. And when they first get set up, the tutor actually evaluates where they're at through the Ignite tutoring curriculum. And so they're meeting goals based on their own, it's very individualized, so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Bonnie?
In terms of the genocide program began here, I don't know, it was probably 30 years ago, began up at Monument. And there were 2 teachers from the social studies department who did the Holocaust, can it happen again? But it was not only the Holocaust, it was other examples of genocide. So we have resources, right here in county. And that book is great, except it's not in print now. But the resources are still here.
Yes, and I've talked to, I've also spoken to the chair at the Berkshire, and I'm probably the Jewish Foundation of the Berkshires. I'm probably
she's
saying the name wrong,
really good.
but her and I have also been in conversation
Right.
before the application is submitted. So we're reaching out to local resources. So I also have a master's degree in history as well. So I do bring some level of that perspective with me as well.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions of Sarah? Okay. We'll move on. Jonathan Bruno, Acting Director of Student Services.
Hi, not much to report right now. We did one of those amazing events that happen around here is Field Day. We had all of the elementary schools here, all 3 of them. I drove one of the buses, and Katie did too, and other teachers helped us out with that. It was an amazing event. I've gotten emails and texts saying it was the best one yet. So it's great to have everyone from all 3 schools back together for Field Day today, which was great. And thanks to Josh King and Dan Lanou for the lion's share of the work organizing that and setting that up and running the day. And to the food service staff for preparing multiple different lunches in multiple different locations today. It was great. Thank you very much. So as far as my work, that was a kudos to everyone else. We've been preparing for our pre-K assessments, which are the very end of the school year. That after the school ends, on 2 days we assess all the incoming students, the pre-K and K levels, and we're finalizing our ESY rosters, which is extended school year, which is special education summer school, not summer school for all. It's a very specific program. We're finalizing those rosters and basically getting ready for the summer at this point.
Great. Okay, thank you. Any questions for Jonathan? No. Okay, we'll go on to new business. We need to look at our FY27 school committee meeting calendar and talk about summer workshop dates, retreats, that sort of thing. I can let you know I've had preliminary conversation with Liz LaFond from MASC, and even on the recommendation of a council conversation I had that other day. They were talking about a governance, open meeting law, ethics training that, I'd like to schedule for our July meeting. And in August, they are willing to come help us with some goal setting and making sure, putting together the school committee goals, strategic plan, district improvement, superintendent goals, all of the pieces that need to fit together with that. They are looking for 2 separate dates. I thought we might be able to do it on one extended date, but Liz did not recommend that. And I mentioned to her that in September, I'd like to have some finance and budgeting best practices training. And so that, we have something talking with them that's further out. It'd probably be Tracy Novick and others to help us with that piece, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But we have the dates before us now. Just want to see how you feel about, particularly July and August. July 23rd is a date on there. So that would be one of the scheduled events with MASC. I'm a little concerned about August 27th because school will have started. I don't know if we'd like to have our August workshop with goals and all of those pieces a little bit earlier in August, but I don't know availability either. So those are the dates, and then of course the rest of the year. Kim?
This is kind of futile since there's going to be 6 other people that are going to be coming on. And not that I.
Well, but not until November.
I know.
But I mean.
But for like Jim and Carl and Bonnie and Nancy. sitting in
I
the
understand.
room. So it'd be me, you, Art, and Miguel. Not that I don't like you, Miguel.
It's all right.
But
Well,
I think it would have more impact if we did it with a full committee versus 3 or 4 people.
I think we will probably have some refreshers in the fall, November, December. There may be something that comes there, but frankly, I think we still have several months together, and it doesn't hurt to have that conversation. And it would be a good time to also get the institutional knowledge and advice of people who have been here for a number of years to see how things work. Talking about how we function as a team, those insights can be valuable. So that's what I'm thinking about that. Anyway, Nancy, I see your hand up.
Unmute.
You're muted.
Oh, you're muted, Nancy, sorry.
The divisiveness is such on the committee that I think it's important that those who are remaining on the committee have ground rules so that the committee returns to be more balanced and less stressed, if that's the lack of a better word. So I think that the August, starting in August, and starting to do this stuff earlier, even with or without those of us who are going off, would be good too. I think there's just a lot that can be hashed out.
Thank you. Well, anyway, so I'm looking for feedback on the count. What's that? Oh, Amy, sorry. You're so close. I don't even see your hand. Sorry.
I think that it would be worth having a conversation similar to what Nancy said and considering an earlier date in August, depending on everyone's availability, which would be, I think, the purpose of this conversation. I think that we've learned through this year that pushing things back and pushing things off has not been a wise choice. So I think we should absolutely move forward. And then as the year goes through, when there are new members and when things are needing to be refreshed or continued, then we can also address that. But I don't think that waiting or assuming that we might not be available is, I think we should double check and ask and see while we're all here.
Yeah, it would be my intention too that, we know who candidates are. Michelle knows who's taken out nomination papers. We could certainly reach out to them and say, hey, we're doing this. If you're available and you want to come, they're open meetings, even though they're workshop meetings. If they want to come and listen, they certainly could if they're available. There would be that piece too. Miguel?
Yeah, I would err on more training rather than less, and this way the remaining committee members will be better equipped to assist the new committee members, so I say we do.
Okay, Brian?
I would offer, do we consider Thursday the 20th? Because I agree with you. I'm not certain that it would be good to have a school committee meeting the day after the first day of school.
Yeah.
So if folks are available for that, and I'll also just put it out there because I shared this with the team today. I'm not here the first 2 weeks of August. That's when I take my time.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So, okay. Kim, you had your hand up?
I've never seen a superintendent on school committee training. So
Well-
it's for school committee.
Well, it's school committee, it's for all of us. I mean, we need to work as a team. And it doesn't hurt for our superintendent to hear the training that we are given so that we're all on the same page. No need, Bonnie?
I think there are two different things. One, I think there's a need to clear a lot of the emotion and issues that came up during this year, and people being persuaded one way and another, and the influences. And I really think we have to take into consideration our communities. I mean, there is, in my perspective, both really good input from our community members, but also some misconceptions. And how do we address all of that? So I think we have to, for me, and I'm not saying it because I've gone through all these trainings, I'm saying it because if we're going to resolve what has been brought up, if we're going to be able to look at what makes this district so special and build on that, we've got a lot of clearing to do. So for me, but then again, I'm leaving. But I think what we've heard from our communities and what we as individuals hear from our constituents, I think to me, that's the first thing that has to be addressed before you train anybody and whatever. So I'd say
Okay.
the sooner rather than later.
Okay, Kim?
I guess my point was we need to work together as a committee first and then bring in the superintendent. Because we can't work together as a committee and there's a dividing factor there. And I think that should take precedence, that we as a group can work together. And then we bring outside people in and then meld them in. Because right now, we are not functioning as a group of school committee members. That's just my point.
I'll take it under consideration. I'll talk to Liz. MASC is the one that, I'm looking to them to help us design what we're going to do and how we're going to structure. So I'm open to feedback, but right now I'm actually just trying to get a calendar. I'm trying to get dates, but Bonnie.
But I'll go piggybacking on what Kim just said. I think in your conversations with Liz, we want somebody who can work with us, not on necessarily open meeting laws or Robert's. First is this, how do we function? And maybe it'll be so wonderful when you get rid of us and you get the new group coming in that it will not be an issue. But look, our role so much relies on the trust that people have in us, in the community. And that's either been destroyed in some cases or it's suffering. And I think that I would say to Liz, can they deal with that? Are there ways to look at it? Do we look towards bringing together a group, aside from the day, of community members? I mean, I think we have to face this. We went through 3 years of the merger issue, there was a lot of division then. People supported in 4 out of the 5 towns, no merger. And then we went through, basically a hellish year, with people, pointing at everybody. And I think you can't build a new committee, in my view, until you clear some of that away so that we can work together. And even though we leave in November, that's not that I'm counting 4 months and 3 weeks. So,
Well, so that's why I was hoping we could try to get some help sooner than later.
I agree. I'm
Yeah, to help
supporting
set
that.
the stage
Right.
for a new group. Okay. All right, so what do you think about moving the August meeting from the 27th to the 20th? Do it just before school starts. Does that feel reasonable? That's kind of the date that I was looking at too, just in general. But I don't know if others know schedules
It works for me.
I can do the 20th, yeah, but not sooner.
but not sooner.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 20th could work. So what about the other dates of the calendar? You can kind of see, we've got the 2 meetings, September, October have 2 meets, then we have the MASC, we have 1 meeting, we get into holiday time, 1 meeting, and then we're kind of back to the 2 meetings at a time as we've had in the past, twice a month. It's pretty standard. The only where we double up a little bit is in March. The 17th would be our budget adoption, where Michelle counted back the 45 days, the regional agreement, and then the 11th would be our budget hearing. So that's where that's why they're 2 weeks in a row. That's the only difference. But mostly they're either 2 or 3 weeks apart. So if people agree, I would entertain a motion, we approve the 26-27 school committee calendar, changing August 27th to August 20th, if folks agree.
I move to adopt or accept the 26-27 school committee calendar, changing the August 27th date to August 20th.
I see.
Bonnie?
Nope, you second.
You
Yep,
second?
that's fine.
Okay, you had your hand up, was that for a
A
comment?
comment.
Okay, all right, so we have a motion, a second, comment please.
It's so easy to forget everything over the course of 5 weeks. And I wonder if we would be better off if we could schedule 2 days in July. And then if need be, there might be a determination, we want to have a meeting with community leaders in August, you might want. But I think that gap is not real.
You'd like to have the 2 meetings closer together.
Close together. Well, we still have plenty of time for vacation. And
Do you want to
most people-
suggest a couple of dates? I don't know. I'm a
Can I
little
make a
concerned
recommendation
because July.
to help?
Sure.
Could we send out a doodle poll for people's availability for an alternate meeting prior to the 23rd in July?
I will not be available.
Okay, well, there's one.
I'm having a hard enough time pulling stuff together, sure other people are.
Okay.
But I've got too much that has to get completed and to have me to do anything possible. Kids already included.
I do need everybody.
And work it.
Okay.
Bonnie, are you saying to, in addition to the 1 July and 1 August, to add a second one? Or are you saying to move the 27th, that we moved to the 20th potentially to
Taking the
July?
20th, moving it to July.
Okay.
And then making a decision
If we need to add another one
if we need
back.
to add anything. Did we accomplish? Because I believe that gap, as I said, of 5 weeks.
Do you think it would be better to do them like we could do like July either 16th and 23rd or July 23rd and July 30th? I mean,
That's fine. It's just,
I understand what you're saying, how, it does leave a pretty big gap, that's sure.
So
you
could
know.
we, maybe that would be instead of, and when everyone can look at their calendars, maybe it is better to send something
Yeah,
out
I think
that we
that,
can
Michelle.
vote on
think that's
when
a
we
good
have
idea.
time to look.
I think that's a very good
Okay.
idea.
yeah.
And then would we keep a meeting in August, or then would we take August
May I
off.
offer to help? So I think you could keep the meeting in August, whether you need it or not, based
Just
on
start
what
this
does
back.
or doesn't happen
Yeah, I like that.
in July. So you'll keep the meeting in August. If you need it for an additional community meeting, great. If you need it for an additional school committee meeting, great. But the goal would be to see if we can add one in July. Does that support
It's
which way
okay
you're
with me.
going?
I didn't
Is
want
that
to
okay with you?
overtax people's summer, so that, I'm okay with that.
Each month in the summer, so I think that, and then we'll know if we need to add another one, but I think, yeah. just
Okay.
keep it in mind.
So I want to make sure I heard you, Nancy. You agree with Bonnie having them closer together?
No.
No, what I'm saying is
Oh.
what we've always done in the past, to Bonnie's point, or, addressing, in my experience on the school committee, we've only had one meeting each month. We've had a meeting in June,
Yep.
a meeting in July, and a meeting a meeting in August.
Yeah.
We haven't had multiple meetings.
Right. Right. Well, I think
I'm
this
saying
time,
this is
though, to
different.
try
Yeah,
to
we're
do
gonna
the
try.
team
Yeah, we're
building,
gonna
I think
try.
is important, So do we want to approve this with a tentative addition of the July date closer? We have the motion on the floor to approve, it would keep July 23rd and then move the 27th to the 20th, and we're going to try to put
Something else in play for
something
July.
else in place for July.
Agreed.
And I can bring that back to the next meeting and
Yeah.
it's,
I will not be able to make the June 25th meeting.
okay, well, that date is probably going to change.
Yeah,
So we're not
Stay
done with
tuned.
calendar.
Great.
Right, yeah. Any other comments on calendar? Okay, so do we want to approve the calendar as presented
So you
with
have a
that
motion
one
and a
adjustment?
second,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have a motion and a
can-
second.
Vote?
Yes? Are we ready to do that, Jim?
Yes.
Carl?
Well, I'm going to abstain, but I'll change my vote if the motion is defeated because of my abstention. But I don't feel particularly comfortable committing someone other than myself and I don't mean the remaining members, but Alfred is going to have a new representative on November 3rd or whatever the date
Sure.
is. So I don't want to commit, or I could say yes as long as, if the motion is amended so that the new committee can decide dates after Election Day, that if there's a reason that Thursday doesn't work for, say, 4 of the members. We've done that traditionally. But in any event,
Sure.
I'm abstaining because I don't want to make a commitment for someone not me. But if you need my vote
Come back.
to pass, I will change my vote
You
from
recognize-
abstention to yes.
You recognize we're only talking about July and August.
No, I'm trying to approve, I'm trying to approve the entire,
calendar.
I mean, we've always
Right,
approved the
right,
school
right,
committee
right,
calendar.
right,
And of
right.
course, it's tentative. If we find out the whole quorum is not available on a certain date, we
We'll have to go back.
either cancel or reschedule. I mean, that's a normal procedure.
Right,
Amy?
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Miguel? Yeah, Tim?
Yes,
Bonnie, yes. Nancy?
Yes.
Yes, and Julie, yes. Okay, so the motion passes. We've passed the school committee calendar, changing August 27th to the 20th. Thank you very much. And with Bonnie's recommendation, I can talk to them and see about how you describe that. I'll talk to you more before I talk to Liz. And then we can see if we want to do 2 closer together and if
and
we
if it
can
helps.
figure that out in
you know,
July.
I'm more than happy to speak with her, with you as well.
Sure, okay. All right, so we will do that. All right. So to that end, while we're talking about calendars just in general, no, never mind, we'll do it when we get to special town meeting. Forget it. Okay, let's go on and do the review of the fiscal year 27 school choice projection chart.
You went over the goals? You don't want to do goals?
Oh, yeah, we can do that. Sure, I have that circled. Why don't we talk about school committee goals? Oh, yeah, go ahead. So what Michelle pointed out to me, this was a meeting, I believe, of the superintendent evaluation back in maybe January, and we were reviewing these goals, talking about super goals, And Bonnie, I'm pretty sure you were the one, that line on objective 4 under goal 3, you added, we clarified, and Michelle brought it to my attention that we never brought this forward to the full school committee for an approval. So these are actually the goals we've had for the last 2 years, which over the summer we would need to revisit and start talking about and make sure we get new ones moving forward. So that's why this is here tonight, so that we can retroactively, shall we say, approve this minor change that was suggested under goal 3 for objective 4 for the end of this year. I don't know if there's any questions on.
Well, my question was.
Well, wait, I think Jim was gonna make a motion, then we'll discuss. Okay.
Yep.
I move we add a weighted objective
Okay.
for the goals and objectives for 25-26.
Second.
Okay, so Jim and Amy have motioned that we'll approve the change as presented. Bonnie?
Well, mine was that it's not just the superintendent in providing training and resources to staff and faculty unupdated, but it's more like, you take more than just you, it's the leadership team and others in terms of staff, so it's not a one person.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I mean, we can amend right now. I mean,
That's why I brought, yeah.
Yeah, so what would you like, I mean,
It was so long ago.
if supporting the superintendent and leadership team in providing training and resources, that makes sense.
Support the leadership team, you're a part of the leadership team.
I agree. Jim, would you accept that as a friendly amendment? Leadership team in lieu of superintendent?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and Bonnie, okay, Amy too. Okay, so we have a friendly amendment that the objective 4 will read, support the leadership team in providing training and resources to staff and faculty.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Okay, any other discussion or comments on that motion? No? All in favor? Jim?
Yes.
Carl?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Yes.
Miguel? Kim? Kim is abstaining, okay. Bonnie?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
And Julie, yes. Oh, so it passes with one abstention. All right, so now we'll go to the FY27 school choice projection chart. All right, and I will turn it over to Dr. Ritter.
Right, as we outlined in our budget presentation, we contemplated a reduction of the third grade. There are 5 students that are on our roster for next year. We have not finalized this. I've responded to every email that's come in about this. We have a meeting with the union tomorrow. We're still working to finalize assignments. Obviously, the timing of the budget is impacting the crunch to do this at the end of the school year. When we make a decision, it will be communicated to all families, faculty, staff, and school committee and community. But that's the only reason it's there. I'll be completely honest, I didn't know we were approving. I didn't know that this was something that we had to approve. I will respond that I don't want people to think that I buried this. I did not realize that this was going to be an agenda item. So that's what we're going with. As I said, we had a leadership team meeting today when we got back from UMass. We're meeting with the association tomorrow to talk about assignments. There have been missteps in the past in terms of teaching assignments. We're working very carefully to honor the negotiated agreement in terms of notification of assignments, involuntary transfers, etc. So yeah, that's our school choice.
So, and this goes pre-K to 12.
Right,
kind of
right,
showing,
but I'm
and
just- right.
yeah, but I know
Right.
that New
Right.
Marlboro was the point of
Right,
interest
which is
today.
why, right.
That's right.
Right.
Okay, Kim?
Actually, this is a question for the ancient ones on the school committee. Don't changes in our schools and grades and shifting things around supposed to come before the school committee first, before they're enacted as past precedents, like they did when we went to third grade at New Marlboro, et cetera, et cetera? Yeah.
Not in my experience, so.
I remember when it did come before us, when they did that.
When was that? When was that? That's what I'm just asking about. 'Cause
When New Marlboro went from fourth to third, it was brought before us. It was not just sprung on us. It was brought before us. There was a discussion to be had, the pros and cons, and our opinion is weighted because this is still our district and we still run it.
Michelle, can you find out what that information, because like I said, I'm sure you're right, I don't remember. It would be great to have the history.
Yeah. So may I ask if the ancient ones remember when fourth grade moved over here as opposed to
It was a couple
being,
years ago.
I don't know how long ago that was.
It was about 2 years ago, and it was part of the discussion
No, that's
centered
not true.
around.
No, the kids always,
Nancy, wait a minute. Bonnie's speaking. I'll get back to you. Hold
I
on.
think it was 3 maybe? Was it 3?
It's centered around the whole issue of wanting to have a early childhood program or a pre-K, et cetera, in the eastern part of our district. And as part of that, we were looking into the shift of fourth grade here. And since I'm not an elementary school specialist, I would defer to those. It was also the change in curriculum. So the information we received is that the leadership in the elementary school felt, given the change in the curriculum, and I cannot tell you what it was at this
Okay.
point, it made sense to have the fourth grade come over to Under Mountain.
All right.
And it would be a good precursor to having an early childhood type of program
Okay.
in the eastern part of the district.
Okay. All right. Oh, Nancy, yes, please.
I must be misread. This is not denying what you're saying, Bonnie. It just sort of, it seemed to me that kids moved over from New Marlboro for fourth grade, not fifth grade.
I said fourth grade.
We're talking about the fourth grade, Nancy, when the change.
Right, but I understand that kids moved over from, at least my recollection when my kids were in the district, that kids moved over to, not from fourth grade to fifth grade, they moved over third grade, they moved over from fourth grade. I may
Okay.
have that wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
May I?
Yeah, Kim.
So we went back to the fifth, they went from fourth grade, like you said, to Under Mountain, or the elementary or whatever. But it was also, I think the shift at the time was, they moved sixth grade around too at the time in order to incorporate the fourth grade, that it was no longer going to be at New Marlboro. Because the idea is to get a bigger start with younger kids and a larger program there so they could get entrenched and want to go to our school for long term. It was all brought before the school committee. We all had a discussion about it, and it was decided to cut it back to third grade. It was under Charles Miller was still here. But it was brought here first. It wasn't just done. And it
Well,
seems-
keep in mind, it's not done, right? I mean,
know.
it's a projection, it's a discussion, they're still looking at enrollment, they're still trying to figure out bringing positions back, there's still a lot.
Found out about it on a chart today, and I had several calls. I don't want
No, I've had calls and emails about it as
This is
well.
not the way to discuss it. You don't do that on a chart and then put it out to the community. You have a conversation first with your 9-member school committee board. We run the district, all of us.
Okay, so Kim, one thing I want to say is please keep in mind what's been going on the last few months. Our business as usual has been extremely challenged.
Because we're shut out all the time.
No, you're not shut out all the time, I'm
Did
sorry.
anybody else find out about it prior to today?
This was listed on the budget for reductions at the first presentation. When we listed the reductions, it was
You mean budget
specifically stated.
option 1
No, it was specifically
or
stated.
2?
Kim, please.
I'm just trying to figure, he
please,
said the first.
Please.
That was the first.
Kim, please, please. Take a breath. Hold on.
The one that listed the possible reductions, it was listed on the slide, New Marlboro, 3rd grade. We're not springing this on anyone.
That was a teacher. That was not, and then we were told in that same meeting, oh, don't pay attention to that, because we all thought it was Tom Masters, and it wasn't, and it's misrepresented. Don't worry about
Kim, we're
that.
trying to keep a little respect. Change your
I
tone,
am-
please.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Please.
It was misrepresented, because we all thought it was Tom Masters.
And as I've described, when
And
we
you
do.
said,
One at a
no,
time.
I'm not done.
All right,
Okay,
finish.
and we were told that, and I think there were several people here in that room that don't believe that, it's misrepresented, it doesn't mean what it says. So it did not say, we're pulling 3rd grade out of New Marlboro. Sorry about my tone. I had 3 kids that go there. I was on the PTA there for a very long time. I love that little school. If for some reason we have to restructure, there is a process. And this school committee this year, the division, is about the fact that all the processes are being ignored over and over and over again. Whether it's releasing memos to the community, releasing budgets without us seeing it, firing staff when we're given a directive.
We're staying on topic.
This is on topic.
We're staying on
Once
topic
again.
of the projection chart.
Once again, something put out there that's, oh, look over here, not over here, and I'm tired of it. If you want to close down New Marlboro, let's set a plan and follow the rules. Thank you.
Miguel?
I think Carl's.
Oh, Carl, sorry.
Yeah, just, I mean, this is a question about the projections, school choice for the South Egremont School. Maybe I'm reading this incorrectly, but the projected enrollment is 11, which is what I think it was last year. But all of those students reside in the Southern Berkshire Regional School District?
As I understand it, only school choice at pre-K is requested and approved by the school committee.
Really? Okay. Well,
That's as I understand it.
okay, because that's the first time that has happened in my experience. We approved what?
The district is coming through.
That wasn't my question, what we approved or didn't approve. My question is simply, are there no school choice, no non-SB R.S.D. students at the Egremont School?
I don't know the answer. I just know that only school choice for pre-K can be approved by the school committee. I can get you an answer as to the location of all of the Egremont students.
It's usually,
I know that it's more
It's usually a letter that
southern,
comes from-
it's more Southern Berkshire, because I remember visiting there earlier in the year, and I was surprised, there might be 1 or 2 from out of different, but very few, they're almost all Southern Berkshire students.
I'll double check.
Okay.
I'll follow up. Yep.
Yeah,
The new 4-year-olds would all be, they're in district.
okay.
There you go. Well, we'll check the 3, but yeah, yep,
So only half the class we have.
yep.
Can I just add a comment to
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm not, I hope this is not taken as my voicing an objection to that, but there was a considerable period of time, the program at South Egremont was different than it is now, but there was a considerable period of time that there was about an equal distribution
Of-
between Southern Berkshire kids and non-Southern.
And choice.
Okay.
I agree. I remember that. I mean, I wasn't even on school committee, sure.
I'm not,
Yeah.
I don't care one way or the other.
I'll still dig into it and get you an answer.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I recall when it was like 50-50. I mean, it was very close. I recall that, sure. Miguel, then Bonnie.
So if this isn't finalized and it went out too soon, when will it be finalized? And will the school committee get a chance to look at it before it goes out to the community?
I don't, that is with your
Is there a
principals.
range?
I mean, in terms of what choice is there. I mean, it's a projection. I mean, it's not a final piece,
May I?
right? No, Bonnie's
Oh,
next.
okay. Sorry, I didn't see mine.
So the first question I have is, since with school committee approval, we are allowed to have additional students at South Egremont, why don't we list that in school choice, how many you would accept, and just put a note there that it's with school committee approval?
We do. It's listed there.
Oh, there is an asterisk. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, at the
Yeah.
beginning, but I'm saying under school choice, you list 0. You're
Right,
not
because
taking any.
we're currently full. I mean, we have,
That's 11 is full, because we've had 15 there at one point.
I think 12 is our max.
Well, then it
Katie,
should
is it
show
12?
Ratio.
For the pre-Ks, I've been told 12 is the max.
Yep.
We usually keep 11 so that if there's entry from kiddos turning 3 during the year.
You can take one.
Okay,
they
so
can-
that's why you're
they
listing
could
0.
enter then.
You take one.
Okay.
Okay,
All
that
right,
makes
so that
sense.
answers my one question.
Okay, Kim and then Amy.
It's just, this could be because I'm tired, but when it says projected, these are additional to what we already have, or are these already reoccurring that we are just approving for the next year they can stay here?
You mean, are there other school choice kiddos already counted?
Are they in this, or this is just on top of the ones that are already?
So we use the number that's currently enrolled,
Yeah.
whether they're school choice or in, and then we project according to like the grade level.
Okay.
So we try to keep 12 in the pre-Ks, we try to keep 15 in the Ks. And then it's striving for 18 for any other classes, but you can certainly go over.
Yeah.
So that's what they figure, that's the amount to come from.
And then,
Okay,
and that'll just bring up our numbers anyways if we accept all of them, so it's not a
For sure.
big deal.
okay, Bonnie?
So then, my question is, this is not the usual when the state demands these numbers, correct?
Correct.
That's always, so why then are we not listing more openings for our schools under school choice?
Probably because you have to open classrooms if you
I-
take more.
Right, I
No,
mean,
within, that's what I'm asking about. Are
we're
you
doing
at
it
the
under
max?
the current staff.
So under the max of staffing,
We don't have a policy. This is just trying to do this as we have in front of us. There's no class size policy here. Trying to do it with the staffing that we have.
so you're, that's not good. I didn't say that. So,
No, I wasn't aware of it until fairly recently either.
under school choice on all the levels, the maximum number of students that are listed are based upon staffing totally.
Yes,
Okay.
we think we can handle within what we currently have.
Okay, Kim?
So just to help you a little bit more, anything above and beyond that, they'll have to either open a classroom or add a staff.
No, I understand that
Just,
totally. I did this
okay.
for years.
Okay.
I just
Yeah,
wanted
so
to
that's
know
why some are
what
0, like the
happened-
classes are already kind of
what
maxed, so you're not gonna add
happens
another
here.
teacher.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, does that make sense, Amy?
So this is listed as review, the FY27 school choice projection chart. We're not voting on anything then, right?
No, I don't believe so.
So-
It's just information.
Okay, so it seems like concerns have been shared.
Yeah.
And is there anything else that we need to discuss here in terms of this? If we're not voting on anything in order to move forward?
Kim?
Usually, parents who want a choice in the district, usually that are outside, they write us a letter and say, hey, I want to put my kid in your district. Is there room? Do you accept it? That letter comes before us and we say yes. So we usually see all these people that come through For the most part, some maybe not, but like,
But does that-
especially the little ones, we always see the little ones.
Do
But I
we,
think
do we
that-
see it for the school committee? I would think it would be.
We've had letters come-
principals. I don't know, I've never seen
don't
it, but I
see
haven't
the
been here that long.
children.
We don't see the children, we see.
No, I mean the letters. I don't even
We
remember
get
seeing
the
your
letters.
letters.
We get letters.
Okay,
Kelly has those all in the files of the kiddos
Okay.
who are applying through
Right.
school choice.
So,
okay.
That's
I mean,
what-
yeah, clearly there's the one for pre-K because that has to be
Right.
approved by school committee. So
right.
those would be,
That's, yeah, that one.
is that what
That's
you're
the one I'm
referring
talking about,
to?
yes.
Okay.
When they're first entering the
Yep.
district.
Yep, okay. All right, any other comments on the review of the chart?
Yeah, my last comment.
Last comment, okay, Bonnie.
Do we let the community know of these openings?
Good question. How
Do we?
How do
I
we?
don't. Yeah.
Isn't it kind of common knowledge?
I
that
think
you can
school
choose?
choice is
I
a
don't-
state.
Well, you know,
I don't
I've
remember.
seen it in the
Huge
Berkshire
ads
Eagle, like, oh, you know, Lee Public Schools is announcing we have, you know,
Exactly.
openings in grades 2, 6, and 9 for school choice.
I've not
We should,
seen.
I mean,
not
we-
us,
we-
we've never
We,
done that.
I mean, I have seen that from other districts.
I've seen it from other districts.
I don't know if
never
we've
us.
ever done
We
it.
can going
Maybe
forward.
we should.
Okay. Okay.
Because you're saying we could take, you know, and I hate to bring back ancient knowledge, I will never forget the time.
I only use that because it was used
Okay,
previously,
you
Bonnie.
can do it. Glenn Devotee stood up and he said, I could take 59 more students at Mount Everett without needing to increase a teacher, open another classroom, not violate any guidelines, and I guarantee there would be more robust discussion and would be appreciated. And that stuck with me.
Sure, sure, yeah, and I mean, it's pretty clear too, you can see that, you know, the grades 6 through 12, there's more projected openings where we could
And we
certainly
know
accept
that
those
most
students.
most of the decisions happen because parents talk to each other.
Yeah.
Rather than we say, we can welcome
Mm-hmm.
this number of students.
Right, right, absolutely,
So we
Sure.
might want to look at that.
okay,
Thank you.
yeah, okay. I think at this point, we'll move on to the school business administrator memo.
So as I articulated in the memo, I'm looking for a little bit of money for Mr. Myers so that he can have up to 6 days prior to July 1 to get him fully up to speed. Unfortunately, Open Architects cannot extend their contract beyond June 30th. And so with his current salary, I figured his per diem, put in what I thought would be reasonable, 2 days over the next 3 weeks. And if he needed more, I would give him compensation days as such. So I don't know if there are any questions or thoughts about this. I do want him to be able to hit the ground running. I want him to be able to download as much information as he can from TJ and Jen and Angeline prior to him starting. That's where I am.
Yeah, so it's basically a request, and this would be FY '26.
Correct, this is FY '26, that is correct.
I mean, certainly we want overlap. I mean, it was a surprise to learn that Open Architects could not extend
Yeah.
beyond July
You're
1st.
looking for a motion to this effect.
Please.
We do need a motion to this effect.
Can I make the motion and then speak against it?
Yeah, sure.
Why should anything be different? I make a motion to approve the stipend for the school business administrator as written by Dr. Ricca in a letter to the school committee.
Okay, and Jim has seconded it. It sounded like, Bonnie, you have a discussion?
I think that this is something that he should want to do,
That we what?
that he should want to do on any days possible. He is not, unfortunately, we didn't have a plethora of candidates who came to us with loads and loads of experience, but I feel he should be given the opportunity to come and take advantage of the time to learn what he can.
Right, yeah.
And I don't think we should be paying him for it. I mean, when I was hired as a deputy superintendent, I just asked, you know, can I come in and before this person leaves? It never entered my mind that I should be, so maybe it's just me and I'm stupid about that. But I think we should just give him the option of coming in and doing that. And what did you wind up hiring him at? I remember there was a lesson you did.
Just
the one-
Yes, it
as
is
we
that
discussed,
one.
exactly as we discussed.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah. Other comments? Carl?
Yeah, I think that what Bonnie says is good in a world that doesn't exist right now. And I think that we're not talking about a huge amount of money. And I think that we do want, because if we say you won't be compensated, he may say, well, I'm gonna mow lawns those 6 days, and I'll get half of the 230, or maybe even more. But I think that it's reasonable, and it would be a good thing if he's willing to come in to pay him. It's $2,500. Sometimes we don't argue about $50,000, so, or even more. So I think it's fine.
Right, and I mean, this is 6 days and he may come more days. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's
And
not like it would pay him to start tomorrow and work for the rest of the month
You know
paid.
what?
That's not
We're
it.
not exceeding 6 days, though, right?
Paid.
Correct.
6 days
He can
paid.
come-
He can come
all
more.
the other- We
Yes.
welcome you to come, or
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
I withdraw my objection. It's just, I feel with everything that the staff's been put through, et cetera, I withdraw my objection.
Okay, thank you, Bonnie. Are there other comments on this?
I just think
Miguel?
overlap is a great idea, considering how convoluted and prickly this whole process has been.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree. Anything else? All right, then the motion to approve stands. So let's vote. Jim?
Yes.
Carl?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Miguel?
Yes.
Kim?
Same.
Yes.
Bonnie? Nancy?
Yes.
And Julie is yes. Okay. So that has been approved. Let's see. FY '27 budget update and then the town meeting schedule.
Right, so
we'll
I
do
just,
that.
I did mention in my conversation, on my superintendent's report, Open Architects is working to analyze any additional resources, both in terms of rural aid and in terms of savings from benefits to be applied. They have pointed out, we've hired back 9 people. So there's not a ton there, but as I said in my report, we would be looking at getting you a memo by the middle of next week, certainly no later than the middle of next week. And I believe we've already said this for the record, but just in case, Alford is doing a special meeting on June 23rd at 6 o'clock. Monterey is doing a special meeting on June 25th at 6 o'clock, which will necessitate another conversation from the chair about this body's calendar.
Yeah.
And Sheffield, Egremont, and New Marlborough are all doing theirs on 6/29 at 6 o'clock. That's our schedule.
Right, right. And the only other thing I would add on the budget update is that I happened chance last week to have a conversation with Senator Mark. And that's why we're alluding to the 20 million for rural aid, not the 12, because he had told me that they voted on 2 different $4 million supplementals.
It was in the MASC.
Oh, good,
report.
yes, yeah. So I had learned that last Thursday too. So I knew that there is additional money coming in that direction as well. Kim?
You said 9 back, but I thought we had a discussion about 2 to 4 more.
Yeah.
And part of.
But that's what the benefit analysis is trying to help bring
But
back.
wasn't salaries and a couple other things in there too?
There were a few other things in there.
Yeah, so I hope we're looking at, especially after what I saw from the budget actual, the minimal one that I received, so.
Okay. Well, I do know last week TJ mentioned that there were some new invoices that came in late.
that
I mean, not that many. No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Not 2.5.
But there were some there were more that came in that were unexpected. So I think it's not, what you're seeing year to date is not a done deal. But yes, we'll
So
look
my
into that.
thing with that is the year-to-date on the 13th was $16,700 and something dollars. The year-to-date that we had at the last meeting was $15,900. How does a year-to-date go down?
We'll follow up with a.
We'll have to follow up, Kim. That's all I can say, Kim. I have no answer to that. So because the schedule, right, this is where we were talking about
Right.
Monterey's meeting on the 25th, and Michelle had sent out an email looking for availability to change the school committee date, and prior to the meeting, she said most of the responses were suggesting, was it
June
Monday?
22nd.
June 22nd, which I think is a Monday.
It is.
So with everyone who is here, will Monday, the 22nd, we'll move the meeting on the 25th to the 22nd? Is that, we're agreeing to that? Do we need to make a motion to that
Motion
effect?
to move the school committee meeting of June 25th to June 22nd at 6 o'clock.
I second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded that we change our meeting date from June 25th to June 22nd at 6 PM. Any other discussion? All in favor, Jim? Carl?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Miguel?
Yes.
Kim?
Yeah.
Bonnie? Nancy?
Yes.
And Julie, yes. Good. All right, so we have agreed on that. I have no unfinished business
Wait,
listed.
before you go to
Oh, I'm
that,
sorry.
how are we going to cover Sheffield, Egremont, and New Marlboro?
Oh, yes. Well, Sheffield and Egremont are both here.
Right.
We haven't seen the warrants to know the order. I know Sheffield has
think they're
additional
both at
zoning
6.
things.
Yeah.
No, they're both
Oh.
at 6, but I don't know the order of what the warrants are.
Usually it's Sheffield and New Marlboro comes after
Yeah, but
Sheffield.
No.
what happened
No, but what,
this time, it's Sheffield, Egremont.
Egremont.
And New Marlboro. Yeah, there's
the
3
New
meetings.
Marlboro somewhere.
So how is the plan for covering that? And there will definitely be questions.
Yeah,
So, and we don't have a business manager who can cover a lot of that.
right.
So
Yeah.
unless you're planning on flying,
I do have a solo pilot's license for a single engine plane, so I can fly myself, but nobody else.
so do
Yeah.
you feel comfortable landing at New Marlboro Central?
No, we're gonna have to work internally to see who's gonna cover that.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that
Yeah.
out. I know in Sheffield, I plan on stepping away from moderator role. So that is my intention.
And I plan to be at Sheffield,
Sure.
but I don't think I could answer a lot of these questions.
No, I understand. Yeah, I
That will
understand.
come up.
Right.
And while I'm,
Say again, Jim?
Egremont does have an air.
I did know that, actually.
Well, but Egremont's actually meeting.
But you're here. You're
Right,
here.
there, yeah, people will come in the same door, the same time, they will go Egremont to the
places,
cafeteria, Sheffield to the Tech Pack.
and we've done that
So,
before, but the issue is, can we have the detailed spreadsheet that was used in the past few weeks with all the items sent to us?
Sure.
I'd like to have it sooner rather than later. I don't know if anybody else
I'm
wants
sure.
it.
Yeah,
Michelle
for
can
the
get it-
budget.
Michelle can get it to everybody, sure.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
yeah.
The budget spreadsheet.
the budget
Budget
spreadsheet, the
spreadsheet.
line by
It's been in
line
the
for
packet.
FY
It's been in the
27.
packet for weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
send the packet
No,
to
it's a
everybody.
really detailed one.
Right,
Right.
yeah, the
Yeah,
line by
absolutely.
line. And, hopefully in New Marlboro that we will have our New Marlboro reps, and I don't know if we're gonna be able to get there, but.
They're both saying no.
Nancy?
I will not be happy if we do not have backup at New Marlboro.
Okay, all right. So then maybe there does need to be an
Sorry,
internal
I've
staff
gone through
conversation.
Yeah, we'll
so
All right.
many times for me, there have been budget issues, and
Very good.
Miguel and I are not, at least I'm not able to.
We'll figure,
I
we'll
I
figure
am
something.
very much, 99% will make it that day.
Oh, all right, and you're not available that day. All right, got
No,
it.
I'll be there, but yeah.
Nancy will be there, okay. All right, so we will need to make an internal.
And again, because we're always after Sheffield now, Egremont,
All right,
and we are the farthest away.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, it's not, things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to be a bit.
So how we can get somebody to,
Yeah, all right,
okay,
okay,
right, yeah.
okay.
Okay, so now flipping the page. No unfinished business listed, and we are now back to public comment. Additional public comment?
Got one.
Kevin Fish, Sandusfield.
You didn't move since you opened?
I'm sort of at a loss.
Property in Monterey, though.
What's that?
You own property in Monterey.
I know, that should count.
Come on.
I would certainly run in a heartbeat.
We want to make it Marlboro.
I'm sort of at a
Okay, hold on.
loss because for the past 6 months, I've been hearing how there's a budget crisis. And there's been all this, I don't know. I mean, I can't go through it again, but we know there's been a lot of issues. We know teachers were riffed. We know, and to hear, if I'm not mistaken, what I heard was there's a $2.5 million surplus right now.
Yeah.
That covers the $1.7 million in RIFs. I mean, I have spent so much time looking through the budget, trying to find cuts to save positions that I wasn't, and I'm sorry, paying attention to actuals versus budgeted of this year. That's a problem. And I got news. You're gonna get that question at the town meetings.
Yeah.
I'm really worried now. I hope there's a contingency plan on what's coming next. This is shocking, and the impact is real. When I say that I ask myself what is in the best interest of my kids, I'm thinking, should we be here? People are looking. It's shocking, the ambiguity. Like, you're not going to be able to say, I don't know, I'm going to get back to you. This is insane. I'm sorry, I am really upset. We don't want to leave this district. We love it. The teachers, the staff, everybody is incredible. But this is ridiculous. This isn't a TJ question. This is looking at a budget and seeing if we're hitting our numbers or not. I'm sorry. I'm really upset. And I would like answers because we need to decide if we can stay here, if this is in the best interest of our kids. So please, for the love of God, answer that question.
Thank you. Is there other impact or other public comment, please?
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Evans. I'm from Monterey, parent of a second grader at New Marlboro. Kind of just here to reiterate and back up some of what Kristen said. I have a few questions I don't feel like it was answered of what the intention of putting that 0 in the number of the projections was, why it was there. And then if that elimination is possible, are you willing to bring it for review in front of this school committee? Like you said that maybe things were reviewed. It was in 2021 when the 4th grade was removed from New Marlboro. We remember it well. Yeah. And then if this is about not having a para, we're aware New Marlboro has 4 classrooms right now. We're losing 2 paras. We're under no illusion that others are going to be hired. If this is not about, or it's about staffing, again, the PTA reiterates that we would like to, if possible, legally and practically help fund a teaching position to maintain the integrity of New Marlboro for 1 more year. We'd be interested to know if the district has ever allowed such an arrangement. Because families, we've spent months asking questions and attending meetings and seeking clarity. And New Marlboro is more than a building, it's a community. Decisions that impact its future not only affect students, but families who invested years of volunteer time, trust, and support in the school. And equally important are the teachers and staff who poured their hearts into New Marlboro, consistently going above and beyond to create the nurturing educational experience that families value so deeply. Mr. Masters stepping up and taking on a combined 2-3 class this year was a gift for all of us. And we also know that we are so fortunate to have 2 elementary school options in this district, in such a small district. And many of us can see the direction where this appears to be heading. When programs, grade levels, and opportunities are gradually removed from a school, it is difficult not to worry about its future. Just as importantly, each step erodes the trust and goodwill that families have built with this district, and communities can weather difficult decisions when they are included in the conversation. What is much harder to accept is feeling as though those decisions are happening to us rather than with us. I understand that difficult decisions must be made. I recognize that enrollment numbers are low, that there may only be 7 students in this affected grade, and that budget and staffing constraints are so real. This is not about denying those realities. What is disappointing is this process. I understand that there are contracts and that staffing and classroom configurations require careful evaluation. However, I reject the idea that process should take precedence over people. Parents should not have to interpret budget charts to understand whether their children will have a grade level classroom at their school. If transparency is truly a priority, families deserve clear communication when decisions are being considered that could fundamentally alter their children's educational experience. I respectfully ask that the school committee, superintendent, and the principals review this process and establish a clearer standard for communicating significant changes to the school community in the future. You have this as a stated goal: improve communication and collaboration. We look forward to seeing the proof. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Okay. Subcommittee reports, community relations, advocacy. Nancy, I didn't know if you needed to say anything about newsletter?
Yep, I just quickly, I think that the newsletter is going out, it should have gone out, if it didn't go out to get to quick print today, because we were waiting on one article that came in this afternoon, that I'm assuming that my probably got picked up. But if that's going out, that will be in mailboxes before the special town meetings. I think that we've had some conversations about community relations being involved with open discussions in prep for the next budget and stakeholder conversations. So that's something that's
Great. Okay. Thank you. And what I just wanted to share on finance, finance hasn't met, but in the packet was a tentative list of proposed dates, some different topics that could be on agendas. So I just put it out for review, and I put it out to full school committee feedback from everyone's been so engaged in budget, but finance committee in particular. If you look at it, do you have thoughts in terms of how it's laid out, the timing? The only thing that I know is pretty intact are the March dates with the budget hearing, budget adoption. But if you have other suggestions, and then we'll bring it back for, a vote later. But this is in response to the motion made many months ago to have some sort of a plan before June 30th. So it's an initial look. Bonnie?
On the 22nd, our new last school committee meeting, I want to put the hour before as a meeting of the negotiations subcommittee, because we still have to approve whatever I've called together of minutes.
Oh, okay, so that's as a subcommittee, but also a future agenda item.
No, that's a subcommittee meeting.
Right.
And it would go on the agenda for that day. In other words, the 22nd, 2 things.
Yeah.
One, the subcommittee would meet the hour before
Okay,
to review the minutes.
yes.
And then on the agenda for that
Oh,
night.
then you would want
You're gonna
negotiate.
add-
Right,
Okay,
exactly.
okay, got it. I got it. Okay.
Michelle, do I have to send you anything else with that?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
I got it. The subcommittee for negotiations is planning to meet at 5 o'clock on Monday, June 22nd.
Thank you.
And then subsequently, there'll be an agenda item
For negotiations.
for negotiations to be added to the regular meeting
Agenda.
at 6 o'clock. Did I get that?
You got it
Yeah,
perfectly.
okay. So between us, hopefully we'll have that.
So everybody, and you've spoken to people on the negotiations?
No, we just changed
Oh,
Okay.
okay,
the thing.
All right.
all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Amy?
Did you want our feedback now, or do you want us to send it?
If it's a quick comment, sure.
And I'm not on finance, but again, in light of this whole year, this would be determined by the finance committee, of course, and I know you can always add in meetings, but maybe to consider a couple more on the front end, given how much stuff ends up piling up, never knowing what to
Okay.
expect.
Okay.
But
Well-
you can always add them in as you need them as well.
Sure. The other thing I did want to make sure I said on, because I was going to have MASC come in for the finance training, and I scheduled at a certain date for, a tentative date for finance committee, but should it be actually on a date of a full school committee? Would everyone want to hear it, or do we just everyone could come to finance that night to hear that training? That would be one consideration. Whether that training is for the whole school committee or whether it's just for the finance subcommittee with those who wish to attend.
Why don't you ask the people at MASC if they feel it would be appropriate for the whole school committee? I think
Okay,
it would be good.
I can do that. I'll follow up. Sure. Kim?
Don't forget that in the beginning of the school year, finance has to bring out buildings and grounds. So that takes priority in the beginning of the year because we have to go over things we need, what the building needs and stuff like that. So majority of our meetings in the beginning, because
Well, we
Buildings
didn't
and
have any last fall, but you're right. We could, buildings
we
and
had-
grounds.
I don't know if you were on it or not.
Yeah, I was on it, and there were no meetings till January. So anyway,
but we're
but there
supposed to.
should be.
Yes, we are
we should.
supposed
We can have those.
Yeah, we can,
work
I
with
can,
Ed
I
to
can,
add those
I can
in.
add
Yeah.
that onto an
Yeah.
agenda. Yeah, that's a
So
very
we
good,
have
that's a
to
great suggestion. Thank
Bring
you.
that out too, because that sets our year.
Right. I do have them on here somewhere, but probably earlier is better. Any other suggestions right now? No. Okay, so we will look at that and ask MASC on that. Okay. That is,
Move to adjourn.
future agenda items. The only one we have is adding negotiation committee.
Right.
The only other thing I did want to suggest under committees is that probably some of these other committees, like, I know that the handbook committee will need to be looking at the student handbook. That's going to be coming forth over the summer, so we want to think about that. Superintendent evaluation might want to have something. Carl, I'm not sure, Liz mentioned when I was talking to her, maybe policy. We did so well last year and, so she was talking about that. So I just urge the chairs to think about the work, what else should be moving forward and how do we do that? Bonnie?
Considering what I've heard from a number of towns, we may want to look at not letting it, the review of the regional agreement.
Yeah,
A number of items people have picked up. that-
yeah,
There
absolutely.
needs clarification
Right.
on a lot of things.
Absolutely. There
Right.
were a number of things. No, I know I brought that up last year and we kept kind of kicking the can down the road and we
So
can't
we-
do that anymore.
With what happened this year, but I'm not sure exactly, whether it goes on one of the summer agendas. It really isn't time, I don't think, in the next 2 weeks.
No, but I mean, if the subcommittee wants to have a meeting just to kind of think about what were some of the
Yeah.
different issues,
Yeah.
I'm sure any real work with town representatives or anything, that won't happen till fall. But clearly just for ourselves to have
Also because I want to get out to the different towns that the way you get things done is you have to request. We don't change the regional agreement, the towns do. So the way we
Right.
did the change in finance, you would remember this, came from a letter that came from New Marlboro.
Right.
Michelle Shalaby
Yes.
and all,
Yeah.
and that's how it led to the
Yeah,
action.
yeah. No, but I know that there were a couple of items,
Yes.
you know, like how we fill vacancies that even internally the school committees
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about. So there were several things we could identify and then reach out to the
Right,
towns.
right.
We can absolutely do that. So we can look to reactivate that
So
committee
I'll
as
ask
well.
the members of the committee if they
Yeah,
can.
we'll have to see. I don't remember who's on every single committee, but, you know, if there are those that feel it's time to reactivate, we'll do that.
Well, even activate, we didn't know.
Yeah, activate, reactivate, yeah. Some of them reactivate, some of them activate, absolutely.
No, Mr. Steele.
Very good. Now, I think we can entertain a motion to adjourn.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay. I could ask for discussion, but I'm assuming there isn't any. Approvals, Jim?
Yes.
Carl? Miguel?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Nancy? Yes. Julie? Yes. And I think Amy stepped away.
She had to
Yes.
go.
Okay, we are adjourned. Okay, thank you very much.